Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you all on the second session of day 10 of the ongoing workshop. Our resource person, Ms. Monica Dul, will continue with her second lecture of the series today. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon, everyone. So today we will, should I start or should I wait until
No, ma'am,
you?
you may start, ma'am.
Okay, sure. So today we will discuss the Python commands and how we can solve using Python the ordinary differential equation. So I'll just share my screen. Okay, so I hope you all can see my screen.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. So okay, I'll just start with the basic SymPy library so that I can just tell you how we can define the equations first, the differential equation in that, and then we can use the functions to solve the ordinary differential equation. Okay, so I'll start with the basic command. I'll import this library and I'm importing it as SYM. So I'll be using, instead of using SymPy again and again, I'll using its name SYM. Okay, so for that, first of all, we need to define the function, symbol, which I'll be using as a variable for the functions. Okay, so for that, I'll call this function symbol and then name it as x. Okay, this x is my variable and that is the that x equals to I'm using to access the variable x. Okay, then I might need this y as well. So this is how we will define. So we have now two variables x and y, and I'll be accessing these variables with x, y only. Okay, now let's define a function. Okay, f will is the name of the function, and I will call function this function, and then I will pass in the argument as f. So this till now this is just a undefined function. We don't know whether f is dependent on x or y. So suppose if I write it as f of x. So basically I'm calling this SymPy function and then I'm saying that calling with the variable x. So when we say, so it will be just give me an output f of x, which means that the f is a function of x. We don't know the form of the function. But instead of this, if I will define, suppose I will just comment this, if I say my f is equals to x plus 1, and suppose, and then I can also use this f plus y variable I'm also using, and if I see, so this is giving me the f form x plus y plus 1, this whole form. So from f it is directly accessing this x plus 1. Okay, now let us define another function and how we can define the equation and that thing. So for that, let's take this function g. Okay, I'm using the same command function for this g as well. And okay, so one more thing, either I can directly here I can also pass this x. It will again mean the same, which I'll use for this fx also. So in this, either you can pass x with the function call only, or you can store it in another variable. So suppose I'm writing it gx. Okay. This your R now will represent a function with gx, but suppose you have equation f of x plus x cube minus 1 or something any random which has a function also. So if you pass this gx plus, so for x cube we will use this and then minus 1. And let's see what it will represent. So your R is having x cube plus gx minus 1. Uh, Again, you can directly use the variables x plus y as well. And then these are just the way how you can define this symbols and functions and then work with that. But now when you want to define a differential equation, what you do, suppose, okay, let me just define this. Uh, function. So inside that we will use this diff command, and in that we have the arguments. Okay, this is my function t, and then I will call this tx. Okay, and then with this dot, this diff is a function which will uh, give the differentiation of your function with respect to x. If here this, okay, let's see what this see. So when you are saying dx dot differentiation with x, so this is giving you derivative of dx, this function with respect to x. And suppose I pass after x, if I am writing it as 2, let's see what change it is. So this is giving you the second order differentiation of the function tx. Okay, and this is the way. Okay, you can also use it like suppose tx differentiation plus t of x plus 1, can have it in this form as well. So this is how you will define your differential equation or these terms, functions and variable in SymPy. Now I want, suppose I will define an equation. For equation, I will need this I need to call this EQ function, and what I will pass in this, I will pass this whole equation. Suppose I want this tx plus 1 term on the right hand side and this second derivative term on the left hand side. Okay, so first I will pass this. Okay, so this is my left hand side term, and then I'll separate it with a comma, and after that whatever I will write, it will be the right hand side of the equation. So this way we can define the equations or differential equations in these things. So next is okay. Now I will define one equation, and so first of all, whenever we are dealing with the differential equations, there are many uh, there are many different forms of equation: linear form, homogeneous, non-homogeneous, second order also. So for that, there is one function in which if you pass your equation, you can easily get the you can classify your ODs. Okay, but how you need to pass? Suppose I have this h as my function, and then I'm defining it as an equation, and then I will pass it in classify underscore OD function. So differentiation with respect to x, this is the second order. And that's inside I just want to do. Okay, this is my equation 1. Now I will call this classify OD in. I will call this classify. I will pass the equation which I have defined, equation 1, and the function which I am taking, this function hx. For this, now it will give me an output, all the possible sorry, all the possible forms. So this is nth algebraic or nth linear constant coefficient, homogeneous form, second power series, ordinary. So these are all the possible forms. This is classifying this ordinary differential equation. And when we solve this, it is basically when I call this gsolve function to solve this, so internally it will automatically classify your equation, and based on that it will find out the solution of the your OD. So next, you can also check this for another. Let's take make some changes here. If I'm just taking it first order, let's make first order and see. So this now, after after changing this, the order of this equation, I am getting this first linear, first homogeneous coefficient, right? So these are all the outputs based on the your equation you are passing. Okay. And now let's see how we can solve this linear equation first. Let's take the example of the linear equation on the form. I'm just taking the basic form. Suppose y dash is equals to y, and with the initial condition I'm defining y0 1. Okay, so let's see how we'll proceed. First we need to define the variable symbol, basically sym dot. Okay, and then I will define my function in the form of y. And then this is my function. Okay, so let's pass this equation and form the equation we have. So and dot equal. I want the differentiation of this yx, and differentiating with respect to x. First order is there, so I don't have. And then on the right hand side, I want y of x again. So this is my equation on which okay, so this is my equation which I want to work on. Now let us define the initial conditions. Okay, I can directly pass the initial condition in the function argument itself. So my for the solution is I will use this dsort. This function is already in this SymPy, so I'll just pass our equation 1 with the initial condition. ICS you have to pass. Okay, when you are passing this initial condition, you have to pass it in the form of dictionary. Like how we define the dictionary, I am taking this as a key. This is y of 0 colon. This y0 will take value 1. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so this is a well-known equation, and we all know that the solution for this is analytic solution exists, and this is yx equals to e to the power x. Okay, so you can also see how we can plot. So for plotting, I just need to pass this as e to the power x. So to access this function, okay, this is my okay. So this is the right hand side and left hand side. You have this equation. So you just want to plot this e to the power x function, right? So we store this in another variable, say eq2, and we will use solution dot RHS. So this will give you the right hand side of the equation in equation 2. Okay. Now I have this in equation 2. I have this e to the power x function, and then I will, for plotting, I will import matplotlib or pyplot as P8. Okay, this is my library in which I can plot basic mathematical functions, and everything. So this, okay. So now this is actually I'm working in the library SymPy, right? But I want to plot this, and for plotting this, I need my variables or these functions in the NumPy format. So for that, we have this lambdify function, which basically transform your any equation and the form, the SymPy equation form in the normal basic Python functions. In that, you have to pass the module as NumPy. So let us store this in. Let me just dot. This is the function which will work. Okay, so I'm passing this x, and then I'm passing this equation 2. Okay, this, and then module. So in which module I want to convert? So for plotting, I want it in the NumPy format. Okay, so for that I have to square it. Okay. So in eliminate, this is the function I'm calling. I'll be passing the values of x, and based on that, I'll get the values corresponding to this e to the power x. Okay, so in the NumPy form. So let's first define for what values I want to plot. Suppose my x is, I'm saying in x is, I want say NP. Okay, for this I also need to import this library NumPy. Okay, so for this NP, I'm using this linspace. It will give me okay. From 0 to 2, I'm taking this 100 points. So for this, this linspace function, what it will do, it will just give you the 100 points from 0 to 2 and all the values, equispaced basically points. And using those points, it will give you the corresponding values of yx, which I have stored in equation 2, e to the power x. Okay. So let's call that. So my ys will be LAM underscore x, and I am passing this xs. So here instead of this x, when I pass this argument, it will take the values of xs and give us the value function value in ys. I have saved it in ys. Okay, so let us now. I want to plot these two how this comma ys TSD how sure. The basic command I'm using for plotting. Let's see our function will use. Okay, so see, this is your exponential function from 0 to 2 for the x, and these are the values of y. So this was the basic equation, but let's see how to pass and solve this, whether we'll get the similar solution with the D solve for the non-linear equation as well. Okay, non-linear. I'll be using same x and y as a function, and I'll again define my equation as I am not e2. Okay, so this is my equation dy by dx with y and right hand side and uh, okay. So now I want to solve and check for the equation dy by dx is equals to y square. Again the same thing, I'll use the initial condition y0 equals to 1 in this case. So let's check the solution for this. Equation 1 and also nothing left y0. Okay. So you have this format, yes, you have the solution, you can easily get your analytical solution. So this is the form of your solution. Now again, if you want to see the plotting of this, I will again format in the just and then same thing, same function I will call it. Let us change the image here. So this is your function for this. If I change it again instead of coding one and code this, your function will change when you change the domain because of the point here beginning with 0. So So this is how you can easily solve the solution. Basically, we have the direct methods to solve this. And now we can see another example for which it's not always possible to have the analytical solution. So for that, we move to the power series solution for that. So it will automatically detect, and let me define this function. F is equals to y of x whole square plus x. So I have defined this function y square plus x, and then I will define my differential equation as dy by dx form, and then on the right hand side I want this f. So this is my equation. So let's see if we solve it. Will we get the analytical solution or the solution in the closed form, or the series solution? We have equation 1. Okay. So So as you can see that here we have the solution. I'm not using any initial condition for this. You can use the way I have defined earlier. So in this case, you can see that the solution here have coefficients, right? So P1, P2, and it is in the series form. This is the power series solution. So in this all, if you don't have this closed form solution, or we can say like analytical solution, it moves to the give you the power series solution. Uh, so this was about these three types of solutions. Now we can use the initial condition and we can see where it will terminate. Okay. Again, I will pass the, let's just pass the initial condition here. Why? Let's just pass this one. Okay, now we have this constant value. So you have the solution with the initial condition. If you pass, then you will have this yx equals to x square by 2 x to the power 5 by 20 is your solution. So, okay, this was about the basic ordinary differential equation. You can solve any type of form you will enter, it will automatically detect, and sometimes if it's not possible to solve, it might give an error, but most of the cases it will move to the different methods. Like in this also it gives us the power series solution. But now let's come how we can pass if we have system of ODEs, like linear system of differential equations. So for that, see system of ordinary differential equation. So just first degree, I will ask x and y as sin pi dot. In this is one different way to pass your this x and y to function, and you can also define the class here as function. So basically, you are making this x and y the functions. This is the syntax which. So the And then let us define that we will use two equations, ordinary differential equations, and then for that we need these x and y will be dependent on t. Okay, so for that we will define it as a variable, and with solution also we need to define these two constants. Okay, so define c and dot single and okay. So this is all what we need to define our OD. Let's define the first equation. The first, my first equation is differentiating this. This is another way of writing this differentiation. Sorry. This is T. Here. So, okay, yeah. So this same differentiation x t comma t is again giving you the same thing, derivative of x with respect to t. Okay, and this is the 12.5 after that. So, okay, there is some error. XY class function is not defined. I don't know why this is giving an error because I've used it in my. Okay, instead of this, let me just take it as xy and function is x, and similarly I can define it for xy and function for with. Okay, so this is your first equation. Okay, now let us define the second equation as my second equation will be dy by dx. Okay, passing this. So what I want derivative of y with respect to t, and that is equal to minus 3 star 18 minus 15 something. Equation 2 is minus 15 divided by dx minus 15 x minus 3y plus 4. So these are two equations and this is our system. So we want to solve it for this. So when you pass this as, again we will use the same dsolve, but in this we will pass it in the circular brackets. Okay. So x and dsolve, and then we'll pass both the equations, equation 1 and equation 2. Okay, so if we solve, so okay, now in this the solution is in the array form and it is written in this equation form. So if we want to have the output like in this form, let us just see what it is because it's not easy visible. Let's just copy the first solution. X dy by dt. This is still here. It is our first solution. So it is, see, from here also we can read that this is an equation with x of t, comma, it means that it is separated. This is the right hand side, left hand side, and then we have this on right hand side C1 cos square. We can just let's just create this properly. Dot equation. Okay. So for this I have to use this because this cos function and square root function everything is we need to access from the library SymPy, so we need to use this, otherwise it means all these functions are predefined, so to access them from SymPy we need to define them. So this is your solution xt. Similarly you can just copy this the second solution and then you can see what form it has. Okay, so now how to pass the initial values for this. Substituting, let's substitute the initial condition. So because what we want to solve constant. We will find out the constant. So I'm just making it as a variable constant. So I am using this command which is simpy.solve. So what it will solve, I want to find out C1 and C2. Okay. And for that I will pass the equation and we will substitute function we will use corresponding to t. For initial condition our t will be 0 and for this system we have x of 0 equals to 5 and y0 is equals to 10. So how I will substitute? Just let's see what is the syntax. So in simpy solve I'll find the solution. I'll access the solution 0. Substitute. Okay, and substitute, but I want to substitute t with 0. Okay, then again I will use this function substitute. So for x of 0 with 5. Okay. So now, so this is what I'm doing. I'm substituting in solution 1 with t equals to 0 and x of 0 is equals to 5, and then for the second solution I'm using this solution 1. Okay, but same thing, substitute. We will use the substitute command with t equals to 0, and then again I'll substitute y of 0 with this 10. This is my initial condition, and okay, after this what I will do, I will pass in this what I want to solve. So I want to solve, sorry, this is C2. Okay, so I hope there isn't any error related. Okay, all the brackets are fine. Okay. So C1 does, so this what it will do, this will solve for the constant C1 and C2 by substituting t equals to 0 and x of 0 equals to 5 and y, these are your initial conditions. So solution 0. Since you know that the solution here is in the form of array, so to access that single first solution, you will write solution 0. It will give you the first element, which is this, and then solution 1 for the second element, like you wanted to solve it for second solution. Okay, and then constant output this. So this is giving you the output in the form your C2 has this value and C1 is this. Okay, now let us again find the solution, final solution, how we can get X solution. Like I want to, we will substitute this C2 and C1 again in our solution. Okay, so for the first solution 0 and I'm accessing the right hand side of that because I want to substitute C1 and C2 on the right hand side. So this and I will again call this substitute function and just pass the constant in this. Okay. So now after substituting all the constant values, we have our solution xt in this form. Similarly, we can find for y solution as well. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so you can also change it in the equation form again. Suppose I dot equation, and on the right hand side you want it as x, sorry, left hand side, and then x solution. So now you can see that xt is equals to this. Similar operations you can perform for yt also. So this was all about how we can use this particular package SimPy to solve this your ordinary differential equations. But you also know that we have situations when we cannot directly get the analytical solution or the power series solution, and so for that we move to the numerical solutions of the ODEs. Okay, for that we have our different methods. Very famous is in numerical, this is Runge-Kutta-Arke method or Euler's method. Okay, so first let's see how we can make a function for this Euler method, how you can solve and make function. For Runge-Kutta methods and all, we have another one more library which we can use and pass the method as an argument to get the solution. Okay. So what your Euler method have this form, suppose your function is derivative, okay, dy by dx is equals to, your function should have the form f of y comma x. Okay, so for that it is an iterative formula, right? You will get your recursive formula for that is you want to know the values at different points, and for that you have y of n plus 1 is equals to yn plus the function y which you have in this dy by dx form. So that recursive formula you will pass in the function. Okay, let's just make the function, or so then b. So I just will just choose it from here, and then I'll explain step by step how I made that function. Okay. Okay. So in your numerical method, how you work, you don't always you don't have this closed form. Okay, we have the solutions for different points of x. We divide it in the mesh points, we can say our domain, and then we find the solution of that particular point. So let us, so here I have defined this function, Euler function, with the argument this as y0 is for the initial condition, and this t is your time point from where you at what point you want to find your solution, at what point. So y0 is my, taking it as a, y0 will be, when we'll call this function it will be passed. Now let's this is a for loop. This is this equation which I have, this is basically for the solution. Okay, why I have defined this as a 0, and it will keep on adding when I run this program for loop. Then this is the main recursive formula for your Euler function, Euler method. So y of n plus 1, yn plus this function value, this is your function value yn tn, and then this is the mesh point or difference between these t points. Okay, so it will return the values of 1. Now let's check this for the same function which we used the first step, y dash for the interval 0 to 2, and we have the initial condition for this is 0 is 1. So I'm defining this as c, which is limit 0 to 2. I've defined it 21 points I'm taking, and my initial condition is given as 1, so I've passed this. And this function, okay, I hope, I don't know whether you know about this lambda function, but this is just basic. Let me just define this. What is this? Like here, this function we are defining, we can write statements, and we can perform whatever function and operation we want, but this lambda function is just a one line function. You cannot actually define, you just have to pass an expression in this. You cannot always add more than one statement in that. And the syntax for this is, you have to use this keyword lambda, and then you will pass your variable or the argument. Suppose here f, y naught and t are your arguments for this particular function. Similarly, the terms here y and t are the argument for your lambda function. Okay, and then you are passing the output y. So whenever you call this function f, your return will be this y. Okay, so this f is storing your this y. So this is how we have defined the function, your f function. Now I'm calling this function with f, y naught and t values. Okay, so let me just make it. Let's see what this y is. Okay, so this, so here you see, observe, actually when we have this analytical solution, you are directly getting the closed form. Okay, you can see the form of the function. But here, because since these are numerical methods and this recursive formula, we will get the value of the solution at the points we are passing, right? So here we have this 21 points at different points, and we are getting the value of your functions at these points. These are the values which you are getting. And you also know that the direct solution you can check. Let's check how they have estimated the solution. This is a kind of approximation. In numerical, we usually get the approximated solution. Okay. So for this, we have y true because we know the direct closed form solution also. Let us see. I've defined this as exponential of t, and then I will just plot this, and we can see graphically how these solutions are. Okay, so see, in this plot, what I have passed, I'm passing this ty with b and ty true with r. Okay, and then I'm passing this legend is just for the this in this year, so that you get the information, right? This what this your red curve represent, and this what this blue curve represent. This is how you can use the command access and everything. Grid true will give you these horizontal and vertical grids behind the graph, and the title is giving the solution. Okay, so here you can see this blue one which you computed using your function which you have defined is this passing through these points. Okay, but this true function, there are some gaps. So uh, this because the actual solution we couldn't find using this. These are Euler's method will give you the approximated solution, and you can also check the error. So let us check the error. It is easier because you can you know the exact solution of this, so you can plot. You are plotting and things, but in many cases we cannot solve many differential equations. So we move to our numerical methods to solve this. Okay. Let's see how much error. So difference in the solution is 0.19. So this is the error. I'm just picking the error. Y difference. I'm defining the y minus y true, and then I'm taking it. The error form it is giving me. So I hope this Euler function is okay, clear to you how we can define the function. And then I will move to the another. Now I'll move to the another library which is scipy.integrate. Scipy is a library, but from that we will use the function to. This is the main function. Okay. So see, there are different methods you can call your function. You could have directly used import scipy.integrate, and then later on, whenever you need this function, you have to use this dot od. Okay, but apart from this, you can also use this another way of writing. These are just the way how you can import your necessary function. Or suppose you know that particularly I just want to use this od in. So what I'm doing from this particular module or this library, I just want to import this. So I'll just use this as to solve or call my function. So okay, whenever you are dealing with this, we will again define a function. What form we want. Suppose I want to solve it for dy by dx equals to y minus x. Okay. So let me just make here you need to define a function, comma x, and then you can pass actually these arguments of these ODing I will explain later now when I come to this. Okay, I'm just returning y minus x, my f of x comma y form, which is this. Now, then I will pass the space on which, sorry, this is this is I'm again defining in from 0 to 2 and 21 points on which, and the initial point which I'm defining is y0 is equals to 1. Okay, this is for y0 is equals to 1. So my solution, I will store it in this ys, and now I am calling this OD init function. Okay. So this is my initial condition I am passing, and the point on which I want my solution to be computed. Okay. This is ys. Okay, this is giving you in the array form. Your output is array form. You can flat this. So let's just, we want it to dot flatten command I'm using to function. This is in this form. Okay, this is in array form but flattened. This is a solution at these 21 points. This is the direct functions which I have called. We are starting. So in this, let's just help, and then we can see what other arguments also are there. Okay, so see. In this, the form which we can pass this function f function is here. So in this we have to pass it in a callable form. Okay. Here the signature callable function, the argument t first must be true, and this y naught is your array. So whenever you will pass your these conditions, it should be in the array form, initial conditions and your sequence. So whenever you get stuck or you don't know how to pass the argument, or you might get some errors whenever you are calling the different functions, you can always take this help function, but with the with your this thing help and whatever function you want to know, and you want to know the different arguments. Okay, so now let's see how your this function will look. Again, we will just directly plot. Let's just plot this. Plot function with these values. Okay. So this is just linear output. Okay, the form of the solution. The point is the loop. So this is how you can use OD in, and you can always have, okay, there are differential equations which might have this we can say parameters. Okay, they are parameter dependent. For suppose let me just define one this, suppose my dy underscore dt, I will pass this y is for this function, t for the point, and k is my parameter. So sometimes we have this equation, suppose dy by dt is equals to k x kt and something like this. So for that you can always sorry, okay, so your dy dt, your so you will return your form minus k star phi. Okay, so your function f of x comma y is minus k of phi. So whenever you will call this function, you have to pass the argument, this parameter value k as well. Okay, let's see how we will pass and we can see the difference. So initial condition for this is 0.85, and then I'm defining it again as 0. 20 points. Okay, and then so suppose I'm defining this my k to be, first I'm taking 0.1 and I want to solve. So I just save my solution in y1 and this ODE in same dy dt function. We are calling this function and we are using the initial condition same y0 and t. But here, since you're using this parameter k, you will also pass this equals to k this. So this is the form how you will pass your parameters used in the differential equation, okay, in this function itself. So if there are more than one, so in this also you can pass this with different thing, I mean with different column. Okay, this is your first parameter and then your this output, and let's see what it is. Okay, again this is showing us the values in this array form. Now let's see, let's take another key 0.5 and same thing we will write for this. Okay, we will passing this argument. It will take this argument value k 0.5 and then give us a solution y2. And then okay, let's see how these two solutions will look like. I'll just use the plot and then my t with y1. Okay, I'll use the assignment, and then I can do shift with say k1. Okay, and it's a label y2 second solution with, let's say I want hash hash, and then I will do with heat. Okay. So now you can see how, okay, its labeling is not working. Then let me just add one more comment. Okay, now it is given. So whenever you are adding this label in this plt.plot, you have to also call this legend function. So you see with this first k with 0.1, your solution was following this curve. And when your k is 0.5, so your differential equation is depending on this parameter, so your solution will have this one. So this is how you can use this ODE integer function. Okay, then okay, one more function. Sorry. So we have in SciPy also, SciPy integrate, we have these functions solve IVP, which is specifically for solving the initial value problems, and they basically use the numerical methods. So unlike that dsolve, in that we are getting the analytical solution, but in this SciPy, we have this as SciPy.integrate. From this, I'm importing okay, I'm importing this particular function. So for that, first we will define on what range I want to work. Suppose it is for final initial point and the final point. F is equal to 0 to 1. This is your interval 0 to 1. Okay, and you have this initial value. You will store it in array form. 0. Okay, that single 0 is there. Then you define your function. Suppose your function is you can you just have to pass and return your this. So your function is t square. So let us now save our solution in this, and we see how to pass the argument in. I'm calling this IVP. IVP. Yes. So now first I will pass the function which I have defined, this f, and then I will pass this in this form, list form t0 to tf. Okay, this interval and the initial point, and then here you can pass the method. You can change the method there in documentation. We can check what other methods are available. So here I am using RK23. This is for Rangakutta method. Okay, second order Rangakutta method. Then let's see. 0 we will print our solution. Okay, we are passing this. So your solution have this y0, so you will access the solution, that particular values of y you are accessing, so you have to call it through this solution dot y0. Okay. Next is which attribute y. Let's see what attribute is used. Okay, this is giving us this form. And this is just similar to that one. This is the solution which we used earlier, but why isn't it? This. It should give us this. Not attribute it is some error. I use it here also. Let me just check. I'm getting this error. For this it is working. I don't know why it is showing this attribute error. So this why it is taking 50 y and form. Let's just check in the help. So this y should give us the ND array. Okay, this values I want in the solution. I don't know why it is not showing here. What is the issue with this? Let me just take it from here. So here, so similar thing I was doing. So I've used this method and I'm calling this solution dot y0. Okay. Okay, now it is fine. I might have done some error with this name of the solution. Okay, so as you can see, these are the values of your output, or you can say the solution. Y function, y0 is storing all the values, and again you can use this plot function also. And let's see how it will. So see, solution dot t is giving you the points. You have the points of the, we can say, independent variable, this t, and solution dot y of t. So this is how your function is curved with this. method. This is how you can solve. You can pass the arguments. You just have to define your function, this range and the initial method, and the methods you can see RK2, RK. The different numerical methods are there. So also one more thing is how we can define the to solve the second order. The second order differential equations basically for this in Python. In what you will do, we will just convert the second order differential equations in the system of equations. So any second order differential equation we can easily make it in that. So for that I will define a function. Suppose my differential equation I am taking second order is y double derivative of y plus 2 with the single derivative plus 2y is equals to cos of 2x. This is my second order equation. And we have initial condition with y0 is 0 and then y derivative of 0 again, that is also 0. So I will convert and let's see how I will define the function for this. Okay, derivative of u, this is my just function name. So I will pass this u and then x. Okay, let's see. So when you convert this second order equation, you will have the form z equals to say if you are saying y dash, and corresponding to that your initial condition will be y0 equals to 0. And then with z dash, when you take derivative of z, then you will have the double derivative of y, and that you can use it from the second order equation. Okay, you might have done that, converting your second order differential equation into the first. So in this case, what you will do, you will just return your this function in the array form. How you will return your this u is a vector basically. In that you have two positions, that u0 is your having this y value y, and u1 has stored the z value. Okay, so you want to return the equation related to the y dash and z dash. So your form will be so you know that your in u0 y is stored and u1 z is stored. So okay, so your let me just try now the equation. Okay. So your system of equation here is z is equals to y dash, and then z of dash is equals to sorry minus 2y plus cos of 2x. See, okay. So now I will return this in the array form. First of all, it will go in the array form. I will return first y dash, which is equals to u of 1, which is stored in u of 1. Okay, now the second is z derivative. Z derivative is minus 2z minus this. So I will return this statement as minus 2 star. My z is stored in this u1 minus 2 star minus this y is this. Okay, it will access this access plus mp dot cos of star. Okay, so you will return this function and then you pass an array with the initial conditions as 0 comma 0 for both, because we have y0 is equals to 0 and y dash is equals to 0, and correspondingly we have z0 equals to 0 and y0 is 0. So let us again, we will make the space for this. Okay. I will call the function ODIN again, and I will use this. Now I'll pass this function which I have defined. Okay, this is function. This whenever I'm calling this function, it will just return me these values, and then I'm passing the initial value similar the way I used for the single equation and this x. Okay, and this is it. Okay. So now the output, it will store the output for both the equations. So if you want to know what the equation 1, what you will have, let's say within y1, this. So you will just need to all the way and with this, sorry. Um, okay. Let us just see how the solution. Use rules for this model. Okay. So these are again the points corresponding to this solution, and y2 similarly, y2 will have the points. Okay, same thing, we can see the plotting for this. Just write the plotting. Okay, in a similar way, we can see how these two solutions are. T dot plot and then y1. Okay. Solution. So this is how your solution will look like with when you solve the system with ODE. So for solving this second order differential equations, you can convert in the system, and for initial value, you have this format. You can directly pass the arguments whatever you want, and this is how you will deal with the. This is just a beginner or basic how you will deal with the differential equations with this method, and these are the function defined for that. There are many functions in this SciPy integrate. You can use this integration function as well. So there are many functions which you can use according to your need. You just have to go to the documentation of SciPy and you will get things related to that. So that was all for today. If you have any doubts.
Okay, so thank you, ma'am. It was indeed a knowledgeable session. I hope everyone has listened very carefully and have learned to solve the ordinary differential equations. I would like to further proceed with the doubts among the particulars. Okay, so ma'am, can you explain the function of sim.lambdify sym dot lamdify lambdify?
Yes, yes, yes. Just a second. I have used it. Basically, this is the inbuilt function. So what it will do is, they see. I was dealing with SciPy equations. So when we deal with different, I would say libraries, and this SciPy has different libraries, different way of dealing with the equations and the symbols and functions. So this function will, what it will do, it will change your equations related with this. I'm passing this equation to. So I want to change my this equation in the format of the module name NumPy, because I want to use these values, but I cannot directly access or I cannot directly find the values of this or for the plotting purpose. So I use this. I just converted this equation in this NumPy format. Okay, this function is a different function, and then I'm using these values to basically for my purpose of plotting, because in SciPy this that particular equation it wasn't, I cannot directly plot this. So to use this matplotlib library, I need to have my this 1 minus 1 by x minus 1, that particular form in the NumPy format. Okay. So when I'm calling this function, say lambda x with xs, so what it is passing, it is passing all the values which I want to compute for this particular equation. So here this is instead of x, it will take the values xs and give the particular values related to that. This is just inbuilt function to convert your SciPy functions to the different module functions.
Okay, ma'am, thank you. Ma'am, the next question is, what is the need of using plot.legion function, plt.legion function?
PLT dot?
Ma'am, is there Legend function. LEGEND.
Okay, legend. Okay, yes, yes. I use. So when you are where I use that. So while plotting, you need different. So here it is. I was just plotting these two equations, right? So when I just pass this this function, legend, Euler, and this. So what it will give me? It corresponding first. It is plotting this t, y, and b, and corresponding to that, it will give you that particular curve is what it is representing. Okay, legend. So this particular blue curve. So I'm plotting to in this legend function. So this is just for extra information. So whenever you look, you need to, when you're so many different plotting and different curves in a single plot, but it's better to give the legend so that particular with this information, you can directly see what your different curves are representing. You can name accordingly what your functions are there. Here this true. So this second argument will be corresponding to this second plotting, right? This red. So this red curve corresponding to this curve, it is giving here on the right hand type of right side, topmost right side, your information related to the curves, what they are representing.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Ma'am, the next question is: are there any specific advantages of the help function?
Yes, actually in help function, suppose sometimes when first of all, there are many different, I would say, functions, different, and even there are more than one and two functions which will perform the same, I would say, the same operation. Like in NumPy and in SciPy also, there is this function, I would say in linear algebraic function, I can find the LU decomposition, but sometimes what happens, in NumPy, the way it is defined, that particular function is defined, have different arguments, the different format you want. So if you just know the name of the function you want to work, but you are not sure about the arguments and the output, how it looks. So in that, the whole documentation, what it gives you, the how you should pass the arguments to call that function. What suppose now I was using this OD int function, right? So in this, there are so many different arguments. So, but you should know that in the first argument, it is explained in that help function that the first argument should be in the function form, second should be in array. But if you so so in the help and also not only this, suppose you have you also will get to know the output, what values it will return and what is the form of that return value. Sometimes you know the function, you are inputting the arguments, but the output it is giving, you just don't know what that output represent, because it can be like in 2D array form, it can have to like in LU decomposition in the last session I described. So P, L, and U were the output. But since I would if I usually take it's good to take that function help function and you will know the output format, in what form they are giving the output. So suppose in that PLU also, so I took the help of that function. In that it is described that the values will be returned in this form. So the first output or return value will be P, my permutation matrix. The second output will be my lower triangular matrix. The third will be, so whatever in whatever variable I will store, but the output will always be in that form only. So everything about that particular function you are using, because these functions are basically predefined and you are not aware of how it will work. So many different things and some small examples are also given in the help function related to those particular functions or modules. So you might need that help function whenever you are dealing with some new functions of different libraries.
Hello and welcome to the video.
Okay, ma'am. In the input 39 that you have opened on the screen only, ma'am, why have you used the flatten function? Ma'am, in the same input only.
Yes, yes. So here, this is just to see. It is giving you the output. You can easily I just want to flatten. I just want to use it in this form. I want my output in this form. Otherwise, if I'll remove this, you can always, because your output have the form. Let's see. Your output has this array form. This. So instead of just this is just related to how you want to see your output. Okay, just for that you can use directly bias as well. I've just used the flatten function to change the orientation of this, how the output should represent.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. That's all for now. Thank you, ma'am, for answering all the queries.
Okay.
I would
Thank
like
you.
to thank you for joining us here on the TQuip 3 sponsored value-added course, a 2-week workshop on scientific computing using MATLAB and Python.
Okay.
And the students surely have must learned a lot. Thank you
I
so much,
also hope
ma'am.
so. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you, Mahima,
Okay, sir.
for
Okay.
chairing this session. Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. And
Okay.
participants, there is an
Thank you.
announcement. So we will meet at 2:10 p.m. There is a change in the schedule. We have already mailed you about this. So we will meet at 2:10 p.m. followed by our valedictory function. Thank you very much, all.